Compensation for the deceased and survivors of the Sewol ferry disaster has been decided, roughly $750,000 per student and $1 million per teacher. President Park Geun-hye says the new high-speed KTX Honam line will offer a boost to the regional economy and a springboard to exporting Korean railway technologies worldwide. And Korea has posted another record trade surplus despite falling export and import volumes. The prolonged economic slump could be to blame. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Thursday, April 2nd. I'm Luke Clary. Compensation amounts and criteria have been set for both the deceased and surviving victims of the Sewol ferry disaster. Under the government guidelines, roughly $750,000 would be paid out to surviving students and the bereaved families of those who perished, and about $1 million in the case of each Danwon High School teacher.
A total of 304 people died in the Sewol ferry accident. Now each deceased Danwon High School student is estimated to receive a little under $750,000. The total amount includes about $382,000 in compensation, around $273,000 in special compensation paid out from public donations, and about $91,000 in traveler's insurance. A Danwon High School teacher is estimated to receive about $1 million, a man in his 40s around $692,000, and a homemaker about $537,000. As stated in the special law, the compensation will be paid in advance by the state in place of the ferry company.
국가가 선 보상하고 선 배상하고 선사 등 책임자한테 구상을 하는 그런 기본 구조입니다. 그렇기 때문에 이거는 조속히 시행을 할 예정이고요.
In comparison of the Sewol accident and the sinking of the Cheonan, the total amount is greater for the Sewol victims, but the sailors who died in the Cheonan disaster received more special compensation. That's because there were fewer victims in the naval ship sinking. The government will hold on-site briefings starting this Saturday and receive compensation applications in mid-April. Compensation will then be paid out as early as next month.
President Park Geun-hye was in attendance at the opening ceremony for the new KTX Honam line. She said the railway will offer Korea's southwest an economic boost and a springboard to exporting Korean railway technology worldwide.
On her second visit to Gwangju this year, President Park Geun-hye said that the launch of the KTX Honam line will contribute to the balanced development of the national territory.
기업도시, 혁신도시, 산업단지 등과 연계해서 호남 경제는 커다란 도약의 기회를 맞이하게 될 것입니다.
The president added that the Honam line, which was developed using domestic technologies only, will also serve as a springboard for exporting Korea's railway technologies overseas.
연간 200조 원에 달하는 글로벌 철도 시장 진출에 박차를 가해야 할 때입니다.
The president also took a train ride in the company of a railway official from Malaysia, which has been developing a $21.8 billion high-speed railway. Earlier, President Park received a report on preparations for the Summer Universiade at the Kim Dae-jung Convention Center in Gwangju. The president also visited Naju Innovative City, where she received a report on the relocation of government agencies to the Gwangju South Jeolla Province Innovative City and the latest developments in the project, and encouraged local officials.
Korea has posted another record trade surplus despite a 3-month drop in export and import volumes caused by falling oil prices. Concerns are mounting over the possibility that the surplus may be the result of a long economic slump.
Korea's current account surplus for March stood at almost $8.4 billion, another record high following the one set in February. Compared to the same period last year, exports are down by more than 4% and imports 15%. This is why experts are worrying about the possibility of a recession-driven surplus.
통상적으로 수출보다 수입이 더 크게 줄면서 무역 흑자가 확대된 상황을 불황형 흑자라고 합니다.
Korea's struggling exports is largely caused by the declining oil prices, but local products have become more price competitive. Excluding petrochemical goods, Korea's export increase rate stood at 3.2% as of March. For imports, crude oil and other raw materials were the only areas that saw a dramatic reduction, whereas the import of consumer and capital goods have been on the rise. That implies that the economy, except for petroleum-related sectors, is not in a recession.
숙약업계가 불황임에도 불구하고 선제적인 대응으로 경쟁력을 강화하고 잘할 수 있는 사업 부문에 더욱 집중하여
Experts say that it's premature to worry about faltering exports because although Korea's export prices have shrunk, its export volume has not.
Residents of Dongducheon, Gyeonggi Province were put on alert when a wild boar appeared in the city. In other news, a man in his 20s stole 8 mobile phones in just 17 seconds and ran away. This and more in our crime and accident roundup.
An enormous wild boar roams through a store. The animal, which lived on a nearby mountain, appeared in the downtown area in search of food. Police arrived at the scene after receiving a report and lured the animal to an empty store to prevent damage. The police shot the animal about 20 minutes later. An entire house is engulfed in red flames. The blaze occurred on Wednesday evening at a prefabricated house in Yeongang County, South Jeolla Province. The only resident of the house, an 89-year-old woman, managed to escape unharmed. The fire was put out in an hour and 20 minutes after causing property damage estimated at approximately $63,000. A man wearing a helmet enters a mobile phone store. He quickly grabs 8 phones whose combined value amounts to approximately $5,400, puts them in his bag, and disappears on a motorcycle. It took him just 17 seconds to commit the burglary. Police have apprehended the man surnamed Yoon and indicted without physical arrest another man aged 25 and identified by a surname Yi, who received and stored the stolen phones.
In a darker turn, a man in his 30s was arrested for killing a middle school girl in a motel. The police have also found 2 other women who had been victimized by the suspect.
The Sewol Central District Court has issued an arrest warrant for a 36-year-old man surnamed Kim, who's accused of killing a middle school girl in a motel on March 26th. He's charged with robbery and homicide for killing a 14-year-old girl he had met for sex. He allegedly strangled the girl after drugging her and stole her money. It turned out that she wasn't his only victim. The police have found 2 other women that Kim had robbed. The police said that Kim had met a 34-year-old woman for sex on March 17th and took about $180 after knocking her out with anesthetics. Prior to that, he committed the same crime using the same MO on another woman in her 20s on March 11th. Since Kim is known to have met with prostitutes about 10 times from early this year to the time of his arrest, the police are trying to find out whether there are any other victims.
An ancient royal seal of a Joseon dynasty king taken overseas in the 1940s has been returned to Korea after its American owner agreed to bring it back. There are hopes that this incident will inspire others holding Korean historical relics overseas to return them to their homeland.
Prince Do-won, who was the eldest son of King Sejong and the father of King Seongjong, died at the age of 20 before he ever had a chance to ascend the throne. After Seongjong became king, he granted a posthumous title of king to his father and made a royal seal for him. Weighing 4.45 kilograms and measuring 10 centimeters on each side, the brass seal is coated with gold and has a turtle-shaped handle. The seal was taken overseas after 1943 and in 1963 was donated to the Seattle Art Museum by an art collector. Last year, the museum and a descendant of the art collector agreed to return the seal to Korea, more than 7 decades after it went missing.
I hope that it will remember its 52 years in Seattle as a happy and comfortable period in his long life. We will miss him, but know he is happy to be welcomed home.
It is the first case of receiving a cultural heritage item by donation.
아름다운 기둥으로 반환되는 또 하나의 역사를 만들었습니다. 일본과 유럽에 남아있는 문화재 반환에도 모범 사례가 될 것입니다.
The royal seal will be disclosed to the public within the year, along with the royal seals of King Hyunjong and Queen Munjong, after they are brought back to Korea from the United States.
What is home to you? Well, these days, houses are being transformed from traditional living places into spaces for various hobbies and passion projects. Here's a closer look.
This cozy, seemingly ordinary house is about 60 square meters large. But stepping inside, the view is startling. We find appliances and gadgets that are fit for a full-blown bakery. The owner tore down the wall and made 2 rooms into a massive kitchen to enjoy her baking hobby.
빵 만드는 걸 너무 좋아해가지고요. 취미로 하던 베이킹 작업실이 있었으면 좋겠어가지고 이 집을 구하게 돼서 직접 인테리어를.
At a different home, the hostess is indulged in the art of drinking tea. She has even designed and built a unique stool attached with a burner for making tea.
취미라는 것 자체가 특별히 어떤 공간이나 시간이나 노력을 들여야 돼서 하는 것들이 아니라 주가 되지 않고 일상생활에서 편하게 누리는 것들이 저는 취미라고 생각을 했거든요.
A growing number of followers of the so-called inexperience trend seek to enjoy their hobbies in the comfort of a private space. This has generated a boom for the interior design industry. A multitude of gadgets and gizmos for hobby activities out in the market are not only advanced in performance, but also visually appealing. The home is no longer just a simple living area. The new concept of space is transforming them into venues of varied functions.
The hit film Once, which intertwined music and romance, inspired a new generation of films starring musicians in lead roles. Another musical film to succeed the likes of Once and Begin Again debuts this week. This and more in today's entertainment news.
The heroine looks after her younger brother, who is in a coma following an accident. The lead man is a musician who hasn't written a song for years following a painful breakup. The two recognize each other's wounds and inch closer as music thaws their frozen hearts. The movie, set in New York, demonstrates the healing power of music, showcasing an array of genres including folk, country, and electronic music. Popular boy band Big Bang will make a comeback with a brand new album on May 1st. Following a stint of individual activities, the 5 members have teamed up for the first time in 3 years. Big Bang has released a teaser of their new album and announced their highly anticipated comeback. A survey shows that Tom Cruise is the most reliable Hollywood screen star as chosen by Korean moviegoers. Following Cruise on the list are Johnny Depp, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Brad Pitt. Actress Scarlett Johansson won top honors for the Hollywood star with the most appealing looks.
Back pain is quite widespread these days, with 80% of adults suffering from it at least some of the time. Therefore, taking good care of your back is essential. Here are some tips on taking care of your back that you can follow at home. Exercising with a fitness ball is a good way to strengthen spinal muscles and alleviate back pain.
짐볼 운동 같은 경우는 이제 공 위에서 이제 기대거나 앉거나 이제 균형을 잡는 운동이잖아요. 특히 이제 허리, 골반 근육이 강화가 되고 또 좌우 밸런스가 좋아지면서 유연성도 좋아지시거든요.
This 60-something woman began exercising with a fitness ball 3 years ago because of the continuous pain in her back. At first, she had a hard time even sitting, but her condition has improved significantly since she began exercising.
하고 나니까 많이 편해지고 아픈 통증도 좀 가라앉고.
Here's how you can improve your spinal health using a fitness ball.
볼 위에 배를 대고 엎드린 후 양손으로 바닥을 짚어 균형을 잡고 한쪽 다리를 엉덩이 높이까지 들어 올려줍니다. 반대쪽과 번갈아 가면서 동작을 반복해 주시면 됩니다.
By repeatedly performing this exercise, you can strengthen your spine and make your back look slimmer as well. Next, lie down on the floor. Put both your legs on the ball and repeatedly bend and stretch your knees as if pulling and pushing the ball. This helps strengthen the muscles around the spine. This time, lie down on the ball and lift your upper body as with sit-ups. This exercise is effective in making the back and abdominal muscles stronger.
중년층 이후 발병이 쉬운 척추관 협착증은 허리 근육 강화를 위해 짐볼 높이의 의자 위에 앉아 사선 방향으로 짐볼을 굴리는 동작이 효과적입니다.
If you don't have a fitness ball, you can use a towel instead. Lie down and put the towel around one of your feet. Pull the towel with both hands while stretching the knee. Lie down on your belly, place your hands on the floor, and lift your upper body slowly. Daily exercise and care are essential when it comes to nurturing a strong and healthy back. Now let's take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again at the same time tomorrow. Goodbye.